I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. You know the rules, and so do I. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down. Never gonna turn around and desert you. A wee moe, 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 a wee moe. In the jungle, the mighty jungle. I think people can actually hear that because I started the stream. Okay, if it's this world, I have another world that should definitely work. Because there is a whole lot of stuff in this world, so I wouldn't put it past my PC because my CPU is kind of doo-doo. But I've been able to live stream like games at 1080p that should be more taxing than this, so that's like what my problem is. This is why we record things. But I fall into peer pressure because people want it so badly.
I'll come watch this one too. Okay, we have one person waiting. Oh, that's me.
Yeah, we have one person waiting. That's me. I'm so nice. I'm so glad that I come to support myself. People when they come like their own YouTube videos. Or anything on anything. Okay. Let's try to get this set up now. People, can you tell me if you can see this? Because, I mean, there is a delay, but I don't know how to change that. Wish I did. Stream. Like output. Is there anything in output? Bitrate, keyframe, interval, seconds. Yeah, I forget how to do any of this stuff.
Where are you at now? Oh, there.
Yeah, what's up? I'm all set up. Just waiting for the stream to actually go live. So what are you doing? How was your day? Hello?
Hey, 3 waiting now.
Hello?
Hey, Explosion, you there?
Hello? Hello?
Testing. Hello.
Hello? Knock knock. Knock knock.
Hey, welcome back.
Who's there? Hello?
Lost your mic for a bit.
Hello? Hello?
Still losing. Oh, wait, I heard you.
Hello? Why is it?
Hey.
Why is it connected to that? It literally says right there, output device. Or not output device. It says literally input device. HyperX. What the frick?
Well, I can hear you on Discord.
Yeah, but why isn't the stream working? Because I started the stream a while ago. I started it like a minute or two ago, and I don't
Stream's
think
supposed to be started. Still says 3 waiting, and
This is why I don't. You know what I mean?
scheduled for April 15th.
Why? 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 Is it on the other one?
Let me check.
Is that what's up?
Let me check.
There is a live one right now. Oh my gosh.
There is a live one? Is it
Yeah,
on
it
the
says
other
3
one?
waiting. Yeah, it's on the other one. Frick! Okay. I've gotten the anger out. Anyway.
The other one doesn't look like it's live.
No, yeah, because it's a completely different one.
Oh, you're broadcasting to the wrong live stream channel.
No, the right live stream channel, just for some reason, not on that link, in which I don't know why that link was generated in the first place, if that's what I was given.
Okay, so new link? Link number 3?
Same link, maybe.
Same link.
Let me check.
Okay, the MGB03 link?
No, and it's not the Z4K one.
Okay.
Okay, let me get this new one. Third link. Please, people in the chat already, please
Let me
be my advertisers. Yeah, we weren't looking at the right video originally. Now we are. Now we're trying to set up.
Okay, I see. Live. Are you guys linking the video?
Yep.
It's back up.
It is.
Yeah. I see it.
Jazzy, I want those basketball cards.
I'm gonna go put the new link on into the old channels so that people know to follow us there.
Mm-hmm. I need to mute myself on stream real quick.
You learn to let it go.
Oh, trust me, that's what I do on Twitter because I know that the VRML follows me. I want to reply to so many things, but it's just like I can't. Trying to get sponsored by not sponsored, but like represent League with the podcast by that content creator thing. But I've heard nothing back, so I don't know if that's a no or if that's we haven't gotten to you yet. Do you know anything yet, Meta?
For the content creators, not so much actually. Haven't really been briefed on all of that yet. I know that for the Pavlov League, right now, kind of our biggest content creation problem is PavTV and just the lack of spectator tools. It's really a pain in the ass as far as like getting games casted goes.
Yeah,
which is why.
Trust me, I'm a caster, so.
Oh yeah.
I'm just sitting here like I just want my assets, and it's like, well, how are you gonna get your assets if you have no Pad TV? And it's like, good point.
Yep. Yeah, our casting tools aren't really where they need to be.
Like assets wise, or the Pav TV?
Pav TV. The reason our assets aren't there is because nobody's really kind of laid the groundwork to build them because we don't have Pav TV, so we can't really do spectator mode casting yet.
Well,
but
yeah, I get that, but like you should also have them prepared just in case, because we know that we're most likely gonna get them. I mean,
yeah,
I guess it's really a time thing, so like you don't want to waste your time if it's never gonna happen.
That's true.
Because with Dave, you never really know at this point.
That's true. Yeah, well, the VRML ecosystem has a whole bunch of people that have a whole framework and a whole like strategy for doing that.
Yeah.
You know, they have like all the casting tools for so many of the other games, so it wouldn't be too hard to get
it's really
those
just a copy paste and then just like text or like what it looks like, but everything else is like buttons and scripts and whatnot is
like all the groundwork for caster roles and
it's
like
just
integrating
casting.
casting.
It's just a few Photoshop type things. You know
exactly.
I mean? Yeah.
Exactly.
I know that much.
But for that to happen, we're gonna need like Pav TV and the ability to really kind of cast games before we can get all that infrastructure working.
Yep. Okay,
cool.
So we have 7 people in here. I'm just gonna start. I'm gonna start it just because there's no point in waiting, and you also have your own things to do. So as well as
let's go ahead. Let's get it rolling.
Let me get this pinned up real quick because I have to redo this now.
Mm-hmm.
So just get out of here. There we go. Okay. Okay, I win the staring contest. Your character blinks, mine doesn't. Anyway, 3, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? welcome back to the Pavlov Scrubs podcast. Today, I am not joined by my co-host, Alan, but instead joined by our special guest, League Governor. Can I still call you a League Mod? I'm going to do it just for today. League Mod, all-around cool guy, magician, wizard magician, science wizard, metastasis. He has a lot of titles. He goes by a lot of things that people don't actually call him, and I just came up with all of that on the spot. Are you proud of me? No? Okay.
Some noobs call me a hacker.
I should have introduced Chill as that. Go. Alan just kind of comes here, you know. I'm not trying to out him because he can have his own personal opinions. Like, we don't, he's like comparing us to the Yellow Hat one, and Yellow Hat did his podcast really well, and I'm really glad that he did it. Like, a few people are like, aren't you mad that he's like copying you and stuff? And like they're just trying to get on my skin. They probably don't actually think.
Honestly,
but it's I'm glad. Like the whole point was to add more content. And if I'm a direct result for a reason why someone does a podcast because they're doing it, why not? I can do that too. Then
of course,
then I'm happy. That's all I want is the Pavlov community to grow, so I can make money off of it being the best player. You know what I mean?
I think at the end of the day, that's what everyone wants.
Exactly.
Everyone wants matches weekly, everyone wants leaderboards that work, and everyone wants an infrastructure that's good, rules that are fair and games that are fun. Pavlov doesn't really have matchmaking, so like the league is the best matchmaking that we have if you want to play serious like 5v5 S&D. And more content creators means more content. Like it's not not really a competition, and the ecosystem's not like so small that there can't be multiple people doing things. The more people doing it, the better,
Yeah. So I think to be honest, like before I let you continue with that,
sure.
For this episode, guys, a lot of this stuff is going to be a lot more like conversation based and less question to question. Not only do I not have a whole lot of questions written, even though I do have like 15-ish questions, but some of them are like, okay, quickly, like here's an answer, and some of them you can go in depth, but I would prefer to do a conversation based stuff since a lot of this stuff can be debated on, whether it's about league mods or whether it's just about like how the hell he did that magic trick.
It's a more natural way of doing things anyway,
Yeah. Some people are like scripted. It's like, you're damn right. Anyway, so Meta, I think the most important question that we're going to have to get to right now is, who are you and why did you agree to be on this podcast?
Hi, I'm Meta, aka Metastasis. I used to play on Dream Team, and I used to play on Arctic, and then I was a member of Team DEF CON for a few days before I became governor of the Pavlov League. And because of that, I can no longer compete in professional play myself, which, oh God, why did I sign up for that?
Honestly.
It's obviously a mistake.
League governors should just make their own team and then win every season.
I don't think, in the interest of fair play, I don't think that would go over very well with everyone.
I guess that's like the first kind of like debate that we can really get into. Like when it comes to fair play, like if you're saying that, then the league mod shouldn't be a thing, because the way that you put it, like obviously league govs have a final say. If there's something that's completely disrupting the community, league govs will step in. But overall, like league govs in Pavlov specifically, they're kind of just there. They're kind of people that are like, they exist. They really don't. They don't do a whole lot for us, and there's not a whole lot for us to do.
Exactly. Our Pav ecosystem, we've been kind of doing our own thing outside of, the other stuff in the VRML umbrella for quite some time, and it's been working all right for us.
Yeah.
We haven't run into a lot of the other issues that have been run into in the other communities. And then we have some issues in our community that are unique to ourselves that, the other league govs aren't as familiar with. So I think that what really the whole governor thing brings is that there's a lot of really cool tools that the other governors have developed for the other communities, Echo Arena, Onward, all of those, like on moderation, for example. So one of the kind of ways that we've done moderation for quite a while since I've been a mod, and even from before when I was a mod, when I was just a player, is like generally when people have problems or issues, you DM a mod, and then something either gets done or it doesn't. And when I became a mod, on the moderator side, when we get complaints, we talk about it in mod channels, and we sometimes post screenshots, and we try to do that reliably and regularly. But nobody's perfect, and counting on people to like screenshot every single conversation and dump it into a channel can have its issues. So sometimes kind of right. Sometimes things fall by the wayside.
Yeah, and not only that, you can't also rely on everybody to immediately get to you. I don't know how you guys run things, and I will ask you probably right after this. But it's to my understanding that you do everything by a vote in there on how everything works out, or at least by a discussion, and you overall come
more
to
or less
an agreement.
Yeah,
but like
you
can't. But I've heard rumors that you guys do it by everybody. So even though Invicta is in Australia and could be dead asleep, do you guys actually have to wait on him for him, or like that one guy, or do you guys kind of just say like you?
It depends, like any system, it's messy and it's imperfect.
Yeah.
Like for major things, like changes in the rules, like perma bans for this issue or that, for those kinds of things, generally we want the input of all of the moderators. And sometimes, not everybody agrees on the best way forward. But at the end of the day, it's possible to disagree with people on your team and still work together and still come to a conclusion that is the best for everyone. The reason why it works is that, I have complete trust, and all of us moderators have complete trust that all of the mods, at the end of the day, we all want what's best for the PAV community. We all want the esport to grow. We all want our community to get bigger. We all want more viewership. We all want more prestige and more acceptance of VR esports as a whole. And, even though we may disagree sometimes on the best way to go about this, the fact that we all have that best interest in mind really helps at the end of the day. And between the bunch of us, decisions get made and the league moves forward.
Oh. Yeah. So that makes overall a lot of sense and whatnot, but dear, so do you think that and this is gonna I'm gonna be asking a whole bunch of different moderation type questions that are coming up in my head, and I'm just gonna ask you as they go, even if they're out of order, because sometimes I like to order my questions so that they make sense.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, what's the question?
Right. So overall, do you think that there's like when there's flaws and whatnot in the moderation system, is there any time where that was very apparent that there was a flaw in the system?
Yeah, there was actually a few months ago. What some of us got DM'd by people who got time outed by VRML bot, and we'd been using VRML bot for quite some time to time out people and do all that management stuff.
Yeah, but it wouldn't untime out people, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it had a bug. None of us knew about it until somebody let us know. And what that turned into was I had to go through and manually remove a whole bunch of people's timeout roles, and then reach out to them in DM and apologize to them for them accidentally getting muted for longer than expected. And some people, were supposed to be timeouted for 8 hours or a day or something, and they were out for a week. And maybe in that whole mess, there might have been people who were cranky and upset and got timeouted and just freaking left and never came back. Who knows? We weren't really aware of it until somebody reached out to one of us, and then we had to go in and manually undo it from there. So hopefully with these new moderation tools that we have, that's not going to happen anymore. The entire idea is we don't want things to slip through the cracks, and we don't want things to fall through the cracks. And when you have a system of DM a mod, yell at them, and then maybe something gets done and maybe something doesn't, things slip through the cracks sometimes, and that kind of sucks. So they have this new so we got Carlbot in the VRML Discord now.
Yeah.
Which logs absolutely everything. Some people actually recently were mortified to find that out because they had a habit of dropping shit posts and then deleting them and then assuming that they were
We're looking
all
at
gone.
you. We're looking at you, John.
Um,
Just kidding. I love you, John. I like your maps.
yeah, but anyway, now that we have this ticketing moderation system, this should be much better at making sure that things don't drop through the cracks. So in the future, for the PAV community, if there's anything you need a moderator for, whether you need a role changed or you suspect someone's hacking or cheating or something weird happened in a match or you have a problem with scheduling or whatever, any kind of thing where you need a mod, instead of DMing us, go to the create a ticket tool and hit create a ticket. It will create a private channel between you and the mods. You can talk about and like post screenshots, post evidence, like talk about what you need and what needs to get done. And then this channel will continue to exist. All the mods can see it and we'll, address it. We'll figure out what needs to be done. We'll do it and then we'll close the ticket. And then because of this, we have a separate channel for every single issue that comes up. And we're going to have, accountability and logging tools for everything that happens on the moderator side. So hopefully, we're not going to have things like a mod gets DM'd and then nothing happens because people forgot or other things came up and things drop through the cracks. Hopefully that won't happen anymore. But that requires people to use the tool. So
yeah. So another question, and anytime that I'm asking these questions, I want you to know that when I'm asking them, and this goes for anyone in the future that I ever interview, when I am asking them, I will never be throwing shots at a personal person unless it is specifically about drama, in which then I will try to stay neutral in all conversations about drama. But I'm personally asking how a person feels. And what their take on it is in it, because sometimes I like envision how I feel, but I'm not in your guys' position. I want to know exactly what you guys feel. So with the mods, as you can tell, some are a little bit more active in chats, at least in public chats, than others. Do you ever think that that's like a problem, or is it overall just kind of like settled? Like they do the job where they're supposed to, and it really doesn't matter if they're not active in the chats. Like, what do you think?
I think so. I think, the various mods that we have, we kind of slot into our separate roles, not because it was assigned or anything, but people drift towards what they're good at. Messiah has done so much for the PAV community. Like everything that's happened under the Arctic umbrella, with all of the tournaments that he's run, with all of the like moderating and running VRML that he's done, all the contests, competitions, giveaways, prizes, like the map making contest. Like we wouldn't have the community of content creators, map makers that we would if it hadn't been for the work that he has done pushing that forward. Like we have a new season coming up of entirely OG maps that are created by the community, and these maps are like freaking fantastic. Like, have you looked at Dig? It is fucking gorgeous. Like, Reach Sky is so shiny. Just, there's so much quality content out there.
Yeah, so
and we owe a lot to some of the mods. And
so that's another big thing that I want to talk about. There's always going to be people that you're never going to be able to satisfy. There's going to be the Counter-Strike heads. There's just going to be the people that are going to complain about everything and anything that they can find about. One thing that I do find, and this is something that I have voiced way before this was fully voted on, or at least I didn't, and there definitely could have been like a revote done on it because it was way before the season 7 had even ended. Because I know that you guys did a vote. Did a vote during season 7.
It went black.
Oh no!
Sorry about that. Yeah, my index headset is dying. The cable's loose and it's snowing and like going black sometimes. I'm back.
Okay, so overall, do you ever think about how, like, I don't know, do you ever think about like the competitiveness solely? Like, I know that you said like how the maps look, they're great, but not every map plays out in a good way or like in a balanced way. I know that the people vote on what they want, but a lot of times a lot of times, like being democratic in what maps get voted on, definitely something that is really good. But a lot of times, it just feels like there's like this majority rule of people where people are like, they don't do their research, and so what ends up happening is maybe they play the map one time, or maybe they go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and they see that there's like I'm just gonna throw out one for instance. John
Sure.
Cletus made this map, right?
Right.
They've never played the map. They don't know anything about it, and they just assume, well, he's John Cletus, so and I like that guy, and so I'm gonna vote for his map. Do you ever think that just becomes a problem at some point, or is a problem
Well,
already?
I mean, that really kind of gets to a deeper question about moderation and how to nurture a community. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of decisions that get made, and there's a lot of issues that can happen where no matter what you decide, someone's going to feel like they're not being heard, someone's going to feel like they're getting screwed, someone's going to feel like it's not fair.
Mm-hmm.
And, all of the easy decisions, the ones that everyone supports, those are super easy to make because, like, everyone likes them. But it's always those edge cases where, like, these people feel very strongly this way and these people feel very strongly that way. Those kinds of issues are really thorny because,
Mm-hmm.
like, on the one hand, you don't want mob rule by like a majority who may not be super familiar with the issues that they're voting on.
Mm-hmm.
But on the other hand, you don't want a system where like the loudest and pushiest voices on Discord and the most
Exactly.
active players,
That's a
like
that's
the
also
most
another thing that I
active
kind
players
of
run the scene, right?
yeah, that's another thing that I really want to get in with you. Um, Not to name names or anything like that, but do you ever feel like the loudest people are still the minority, in certain situations? Like, uh,
Well, I will say that, based on what has happened and the discussions in like Captain's Chat and the discussions in PAV General, there were a lot of things where the vote for them across the teams did not come out the way I expected based
mm-hmm,
on like the opinions of the people who spoke up in the Discord.
mm-hmm.
And so that's difficult, because there's a lot of people out there who have like very strong opinions. Oh, if I was making the rules, I would just make it like this and everyone would have to deal with it. And it's easy to be a tyrant about stuff like
Yeah,
that.
but if you
But
just swing the
right,
banhammer whenever you want, then
exactly.
you're gonna end up
Exactly.
hurting a lot more people than helping.
Exactly. So it's not about like this is what I want, this is how I want the community to be, and then swinging the hammer at everyone who disagrees. It's a matter of like how can you strike a balance between what the majority of the community feels and what the players with very strong opinions one way or another feel.
Yeah.
Like the balance discussions that have been happening today and over the course of the last few days, for example, Dave. So for those of you who don't know, Dave Vills has started recently to take a more active interest in the development of the competitive scene, and we're super thankful for that because relationships there have not been great for quite a long time, and it's a nice breath of
Yeah.
fresh air that it seems to be
Yeah.
changing.
If
Yeah, but
anybody,
Dave, right? Dave is
anybody,
asking us for
sorry.
feedback about the balance of the weapons and open to suggestions from the competitive community about how best to like balance the weapons for fair play. And this is one of those situations where there are a lot of people with very firm ideas about what should be fair, and they believe this very very strongly, but like everyone has a different idea about what it should be, and that's
Exactly.
really difficult.
So, I think one thing that I've heard some people complain about, and which
Hmm.
I think that like overall, there are counter arguments and a whole lot, but there's like one thing where like some people kind of look at it as Chill Step and Yellow Hat or anybody else kind of talking there are kind of like they're kind of talking about how like they're going to Dave and they're trying to represent the league. But I think in
Hmm.
reality, what it is they have an open server where all these beta changes are. Now, I would say that the only thing that Chill Step, Yellow Hat, and the people talking balance discussions a lot can do differently is just go ahead and say, hey, we're getting on a lot more. Or even if they already do that, then they could be like, okay, we're going to do it at this time instead of making it a pop-up thing. But if it's on an open server, like, people can go on there for themselves, change it out,
Right.
and then give literal feedback instead of saying, well, I think this is something that may not work. Instead,
Exactly.
you'll know if you go on this
Yeah.
server. And it's like, like,
And-
people have so many opinions and whatnot. You can't please them all.
Exactly.
I think
And there's a lot of value in expert opinion too.
Yeah.
I mean,
But at
you
the
know,
same
people like
time-
right.
at the same time, this is the counter to the counter argument that it's counter to the counter argument of just being able to go up to the open servers and whatnot. Because I'm trying to play devil's advocate here best I
Right.
can. Is that Chill Step may or may not think that maybe because he's a better player, he knows what's best, and and so some people think that that's not the case at all. Now, he hasn't said anything about it like that, but, intentional or not, some things can be taken in a certain way. And
True.
yeah.
I think he has a very unique opinion because, honestly, we all know who he is. We all know the amount of work that he puts into getting good at the game, and it shows.
Yeah.
Meaty, Chill, all of the top teams that have been around for quite some time, like all the players with like over 2,000 plus hours, like all these people have put so much thought and analysis into the game. And I think that because of that, they do have a very valuable perspective. Like, there's a lot of stuff that random players who just like started a team would never even think to consider,
So
but that like more experienced players understand intuitively, right?
So here's one thing, and where like the counter argument that I did make on my own, right?
Sure.
It's just like to provide counter arguments so that there can be one, and it's not, oh well, Chill Step is right, Chill Step is right, because I don't want to pick sides ever.
Right. I wouldn't say that he's right about everything, but I would say that like his opinion is valuable.
It is valuable
Yeah.
in most cases, but there's some times where it's like there can be something that's balanced, and then there can be something that's a little unbalanced, or not a little unbalanced, but like it can be fun, or it could feel better.
Right.
I think one of the biggest things that I dislike right now is the movement changes. I liked having the faster play. I know that Chill Step ultimately didn't, I wouldn't say, I don't know if he did or did not push for it, but he did voice his opinion a few times, saying that like it needs to be changed or something needs to be changed about it. I don't know how Dave went about doing that, and if he took anything insight from Chill Step.
Yeah, I didn't know about the movement things until like a few weeks before it got patched out. I had no idea that people had spent like 2 freaking seasons with higher strafe speed and higher sprint speed than me because of a controller setting.
So that's a thing, and Dream Team is a top tier team. But that's just a thing that people have known about for a very long time. There's been video leaks of other teams literally going ahead and sprint peeking, and then they'll literally see their head, and it'll look like they're looking this way, and the cover will be this way. So I'm moving in that direction. They'll literally see the corner of their head, and they'll just get all the information that they need.
Of course,
whether or not they should
I've gotten
and
sprint peek so much. I'm standing. Yeah, you stand out in the open, and then there's a flash of someone's head, and they know exactly where you are. And the next time they pop out, they're got their gun up ready, and they're pre-firing.
Exactly. There's also moments where people can run and spam it and all that stuff. That's been known about for a few people have known about, or not a few. A lot of people have known about it. So not everyone does know about that. That's the type of thing where like one person sees this, and then they went ahead and tried it, and were trying to figure out how they did it. They found out, and then. Like, oh.
At the end of the day, balance is an absolute pain in the ass. And I don't think that like any amount of effort can get PAV to the point where it's like perfectly balanced and that everyone feels it's fair. Like, do you remember that one PAV patch way ago when like every single thing about the game was fair and all the guns worked exactly the way that me either. That has never happened.
I wish you let me say that. It would have been so much better, Meta. Come on. This is why you're a magician and not a comedian. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm messing with you.
I know. You know, we try to do the best we
Raccoon.
can, and the game keeps changing.
Yeah.
You know, there was the horrible seasons when the Glock was
Perfect.
was a deadly accurate
Sorry,
SMG.
I had to fix the way you said it. You didn't quite describe it. You meant to say
Oh
perfect,
yeah,
right?
yeah. When the Glock was perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when the P90 was so good that people used it over the M4.
I don't remember. I
there was-
probably was around for that one, but like, because
That was a while
I
ago.
was around during the very end of season 3, and then I made my own team back in season 4, and then I was kind of there since then. So
Yeah, I think. I don't remember when the P90 abuse was. But yeah. Anyway, the point is, there's always gonna be things about the game that strike some people as unfair. Grenades, for example.
oh yeah,
You know, the
Gosh,
fact
don't
that
even get
if
me
you
started.
if you know your locations and your angles and you know the timings, you can cook an aid and like execute or 90% health someone down without ever needing to see them.
Exactly, and another thing is that while you can do all that, there is no counter to nades.
Right.
It's
Right.
literally just assume where the nade isn't gonna be, and the only real counter is be inside, but then you have to have an outside and an inside, because if
Right.
it's all inside, then the counter to the nades is don't be near someone.
Don't be there. Yeah, don't be there. Don't be
Exactly.
there and let them waste their money.
Exactly, in which that can be very hard sometimes when it's so easy to just practice throwing a nade and
Right.
knowing where it is, because then you don't have to waste your nade because I think they're here, or I hear them there, then all this other, it's a very long list of conversations. I've been 10-0'd on Mirage by Omega or Valkyrie twice. Okay, all because of you two.
I've played against Smokes and Burrito and like died first on my team like 3 rounds in a row to a nade without ever seeing anyone.
Pringle said Cameron seeking missile.
Yeah, Cameron. Like I had Cameron on my team for like a whole freaking season. So, like,
Can you say that you hated it that he was good at nades though?
I cannot say that I hated it. I will say that having Cameron on my team made everything so much goddamn so much freaking easier. Because like half the team just vanishes in grenade spam before you even have to shoot anyone.
There's been a few times where like I'll get 2 kills with the nade, but it's ridiculous when someone can spend $800 on something and just
600
or six. Sorry, there's someone did. What's the concept where like people thought there was one thing, but in reality it was never like that. That like when Curious George had it, like people thought Curious George had a tail, but he never had a tail.
Berenstain bears effect, right?
Yeah,
the Mandela effect.
The Mandela effect. The Mandela effect. Like someone put that into my head a while ago, and now I can't envision the nades being 600, even though they've never changed from 600.
Right? Fucks you up, man.
Oh yeah.
That's the mentalist like magic shit.
So actually, going off topic, I'm actually like trying to write. I haven't started anything, but I have the concept because I've always been into music. This is about you, but you got me on this, and I kind of wanted to talk about it for 20 seconds real quick.
Sure, please.
So basically, there's a lot of moments in my life where like the Mandela effect comes in, and this can really just be short-term memory loss. But a lot of times, there's just times where like I swear it was this thing, or I swear it was that thing, and then it's like no, it isn't. It's something else or slightly different.
Yeah,
or
you know
completely
what's
different.
funny?
And
You know what's
so-
funny? That's actually normal. Memory
Yeah.
is so fucked up. Like
Oh,
memory
yeah.
is the
But
way
like
our memory
it's
works.
so
is
many
super
times
flawed.
to the point where like it felt like sometimes like people were lying to me, and I can't tell anymore.
Right?
sometimes. Because
It's
like
up.
I know what you said. Like at this point, it's like I specifically with certain people that I believe that are lying to me. I've specifically written down the things that they have said, and it's like, well, yeah, I got it right this time, and they said this, but I'm not so sure about every other time. But point being on the whole effect, is that I want to write an album kind of based off of that, like a more hip hop style album, but it would be more like It'd be more like writing a book, but it's like rhymes, but it's not poems, you know? Or I guess all rhymes are really poems if you really think about it. But because like a lot of times people will write about their life, but I don't really have anything to write about. So I kind of want to write it in a book style where it's about a fictional character and it's about this guy who you know, feels like he's jumping through a multiverse and he's like, man, it feels like everything's changing when nothing changed, and then, you know, he ends up going ahead and actually like, you know, goes through a different universe and sees what like a different life would be like and all this stuff. I wanna do that. But sorry, I got onto that.
That'd be pretty cool, man. Best of luck to you, and I hope it turns out awesome.
Thank you so much. Anyway, back to the meta stasis episode. I'm sorry, I got into that. I didn't think would ever be able to come up in conversation, but it somehow did. Just barely. But anyway, dude, I gotta ask you about the ninjas. The ninja moments.
Oh god.
Why'd you get into them? Why did you just have that one devilish thought and you were just like, I can't stop?
Well, the truth is that there are a whole bunch of motherfuckers in the Pavlov League that I could never hope to beat in a face-to-face aim battle.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's just people who are faster and more accurate than me, and like fighting them face-to-face, it's just never gonna work for me. So I'm like, okay, how do I win without having to shoot anyone?
So you really thought about this.
They shoot better than me. Yes, I did. And I thought, well, Clippers are fast. What if people are like wired to like hyper speed react to people shooting at them? What if I just stay in their blind spot, don't shoot them, and cut the bomb because they're expecting people to come at them with guns from the entryways of the sites? And it worked, and it kept working. And now everyone knows that I do it, so I get shot in the face.
Oh, dude.
Button on my ass on site, like all the goddamn time.
I wanna just say that meta has given me PTSD that anytime anybody like that is in game, it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't. Yeah. It's literally come to the point where it's like I'll hear, or like I'll see a flash and I'm just like, okay, I'll just keep the angle on the bomb. Like, I know you're not gonna shoot at me. You're going in for the bomb clip. I'm just literally gonna sit there and spam fire the bomb. You're not gonna do shit.
Funny enough, now that people know that I do ninja shit, when I flash onto site, I can just keep my gun up and they peek out expecting to shoot someone running for the bomb. Then I light them up. So that actually works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
there's a whole bunch of times where you just did that and it's just like it's like it is literally the peak embarrassment of a competitive S&D holding defend a site. Because you think you had it and then it's just like, well, you're supposed to watch the bomb, but if everybody's back is turned into a different direction and made a circle around the bomb, anybody that's in that circle is just gonna get to the bomb. There's no doubt about it. And so
yeah. It crushes people's souls, which I always thought was really funny.
You asshole. You know the trauma you put me through?
I have over 150 like shadow play recordings of ninjas. I think I have a recording of a ninja against every single player in the league.
Just get Crumb to make you a montage.
I've made so many montages already. Like, there's only so many montages you can make.
Yeah, sure. But like, this would be a Crumb montage. You know, VFX, all these lights, and it's like, oh, flash it. It's so. It would be so anticlimactic for the play style, but it would be so funny. It'd be so worth it.
Yeah.
If anybody has questions for Meta, I will be looking at the chat and reading them and asking them later on. But there is none right now. Or there was one, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was a question I was okay with asking, or either that, or I just don't see it anymore. Oh yeah, it's a question I don't want to ask. Because I know you're not going to answer it. Anyway.
Okay, now I'm curious. What's the question?
Oh, who's the best and who's the worst league governor?
Who is the best and who is the worst league governor? Yeah, I can't answer that question because, honestly, I don't know them that well yet. I've been a league governor for like less than a week.
Right? That's what you mean, because she's watching the stream?
I've been a league governor for less than a week. There's like fucking like 500 new channels that I have to keep my eyes on with all these people who have known each other for like a super long time. And so I'm just like, I'm still trying to get the lay of the land.
Mama Birds, I'm just kidding around if you're still here. I'm just messing with you, by the way.
Mama Verde is pretty cool. She actually
Yeah.
lives not that far away from me.
Okay, address? No, I'm just kidding. No.
Nah.
Okay,
No, I promise.
just the zip code.
I promise to show her a card trick at some point if we meet up in person.
Yeah. So no, but anyway, actual like moving on to actual things though. With the whole like becoming like a league governor, like how did that go?
Um. Well, Dekin was like, "Hey, Pavlov VR the Pavlov VRML needs a governor because we have a governor for every other game. Do you want to do it?" And I was like, can I still play for my team?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, okay. Can I still play for my team? And he was like, "No." And I was like, okay, well, can I still play for my team? And he was like, "Sorry, no." And I was like, fine, I'll do it.
Fine.
And that was it.
How did I know you're just gonna end up saying fine? I'm a people person.
I can't help it.
But yeah, so I mean I get that. I just like I don't know. I get the whole league governor point, but at the same time it's like, well, there's league mods, and at one point like
Yeah, the
like,
league
meta-
mod
met-
still
literally-
run the VRML.
Yeah, exactly. But like
Pavlov.
my whole point is that there's literally there's league mods, and at one point Messiah had like 8 teams. And I'm not saying that he couldn't be unbiased, but from the outside point of view, it seems like it's very easy to just be like make decisions that would better help his team if it ever
Right.
came to it. And
Right.
so it's
And
like
you know,
at that time, what's the point of a league governor not being able to play? You know what I mean?
well, see, the thing is,
Now it's a little bit more
right now, the
irrelevant,
PAV
but-
community. Right now, the PAV community is pretty small. We've got like 40-something teams,
Yeah.
and like there's probably about like 15-ish teams that like are super active and that everyone knows. And so we've got a community where we're small enough that like everyone pretty much knows everyone else, if not like really knowing each other really close, then at least by reputation. You go into any PAV game, any pub, or like any Discord, and you'll run into people that and who recognize you. So I think that, for a community this size, the whole like, self-serving, self-dealing kind of thing, there can be a perception that happens, but personal recognizance is really important. Like people have a rep, and if you do sketchy shit, then you get a rep for doing sketchy shit, which can affect how people elsewhere in the community see you.
Trust me.
And because of that, I think that does help with the decisions that moderators make and with the kinds of stuff that gets decided. Because if someone like is blatantly like advocating for stuff that helps themselves more than everyone else, then they kind of get a rep for doing that. But I think as the league grows, as we get more teams, as we get a much broader viewership, and as we get a much bigger competitive scene, there may come a day where that's no longer true. And when that day comes, it's going to be really, really important that the people who make the rules and who help contribute to the rules can really be trusted to do it fairly.
Oh yeah.
So I think ultimately that's why the governors can't participate in the teams.
I understand that, but like the main thing is that there's league mods that really do everything and control the rules. You guys don't really do that. You're kind of like the Supreme Court in a sense, where like you govern how those rules should be like perceived. But like at the end of the day, like it just doesn't seem like it makes sense, because you're in the same position of power as them, except for you have like the final say, where it's like if something really sketchy goes on.
Right. I don't think I actually do have the final say. The mods for each community govern that community. What the governors do is that we make sure that all the communities are more or less operating under the same kinds of rules and the same kinds of like structures of fairness and so on.
Hmm.
Like the governors don't make decisions about the rules of Pavlov competition. The moderators do. The governors aren't, you know, personally like banning people who spam shit in Pav General or like post
Yeah,
whatever kind of
it's
stuff.
all much bigger than that. And
Exactly.
some people
Like,
don't realize that either.
yeah, what the governors are trying to do is to make sure that like all of the VRML communities under this whole like VR competitive umbrella are playing by the same kinds of rules, and that at the end of the day that everything's fair and all the communities are growing and doing well.
Yeah.
So that's really it. The governor, like, we're not like the PAV community is the PAV community. And at the end of the day, if it wasn't for all the players that we have, if it wasn't for like all the people who really freaking love this game and play it for like thousands and thousands of hours, if it wasn't for everyone who plays, there wouldn't really be a community.
Yeah.
So it's not really our place to like swing the hammer and be like, this is how it's going to be. We want to take into account, what do players want? What do people have trouble with? What do people think is a big problem? What do some people think is a problem and other people think is perfectly fine and balanced? Because those are things to keep an eye on too. Like, if it wasn't for the players, we wouldn't really have a community. So
exactly.
it's so that's ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what's important.
Yeah. So here's something that I did want to bring up with you that you know, I've told people like, yeah, I'd like to become a mod or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
people have straight up told me you're never becoming a mod, and it's like with the whole reputation shit, and it's like, if you get a bad reputation, it doesn't really matter what it is. It's a bad reputation, and that shit kind of
It's
sticks with you.
it's
And
true, like
it's sad. Like,
reps
I'm
can be
sad that that's
hard to make and easy to break. It's unfair, but it's true.
yeah. I think it's the other way around. Easy to make, hard to break, buddy.
Uh well, if you want a good reputation, it's the opposite.
Oh yeah. Well, so, oh yeah, you would know from experience, Mr. Good Guy Meta. Okay, listen. He's told me things that have made me have so much more respect for him that I won't talk about because it's not my business to
I
give
stabbed
out.
somebody in the ass through the wall once on Cash.
Oh, he's getting his guilty consciousness out now.
I saw his ass sticking through the wall, and I
But
was like, "Shank."
had to,
VR figure.
had to get it off of his chest. Okay. No, but back to the whole rep thing. Like, there's a few things, and I'll get back to my mod applications, but
Mm-hmm.
like, because that was some character development between, if you looked at the two different ones. But so I was talking with Alan the other day, and I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know, like, he could just be saying this because he really doesn't want to do the podcast with me anymore. And that's fine. People grow apart, or people don't, like, get uninterested in things. I know that this podcast has become less of a priority for me now. At one point, it felt like it was a bigger priority, and we're not even 10 episodes in. But the whole reason is I'm living my life, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going outside sometimes and playing some basketball when I have the
Mm-hmm.
downtime. I got homework and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But
Everyone
like,
has lives outside of the game.
but like, point being is that, like, because of my reputation, um, I don't know who Joshua Thomas is, but they said Squeaky A, right? For the knife, for the stab. Is that where it was? Is that the?
Squeaky A? No, actually, it was on A site,
It was near.
but they
Folklore.
were they were crouching in A main, behind that box, and this was before Tarmac thickened the walls, so your ass wouldn't
Yeah.
stick through anymore.
Yeah. So, but yeah, but like, Alan comes to me. He's like, some people, like, kind of don't to simplify what he said, some people don't understand why I do a podcast with you, and it's kind of like because of your reputation, because of who you are.
Oh, that's unfair. I
I
think
it's like, it is, and like, I don't want to put that onto him. Like, if that gives him a bad look and he cares about that, that's all him. If I was in his position, I wouldn't, because, you know, at the end of the day, I've dealt with the bad reputation. I've dealt with people liking me and having a bad reputation. Like, at the end of the day, like, if people are gonna hold me up because I got angry in game and did literally nothing to them, that's fine. Go ahead. If me yelling because I got passionate about a game and got upset is a big problem for people, and they want to make a big deal about it, even though it does literally nothing to them, all to you.
You want to know a secret?
What's up?
When I was like 16, 17, I was the same way about Counter-Strike.
This isn't a secret to me. We've had so many conversations.
It's true. Other people might not know.
Yeah, secret to them. Okay.
Yeah, I've had my times of freaking screaming at hundreds of people on voice chat before.
So it's kind of ironic. So to expose one of the conversations and what I'm more or less exposing me and not him, because he already exposed the part of his conversation. But he was telling me, like, you know, like, eventually, like, you won't care about this game all that much or whatever. Like, you'll grow up and you'll realize, like, it's not all that important and whatnot. And I was like, nah, man, fuck you. You're just an adult. I was like, I don't care. But in all reality, what you know, I said, well, I don't know. I really like the game and I really want to, like, be good at it and whatnot. And you know, I've come a far way from that conversation. You know, that was, like, before Season 7. Even started when I was still on the Unicorn Hole rosters during the off season. Like, you know, we had that whole conversation because, you know, they were busting my balls and I couldn't read the room and I misunderstood what they were doing, and so I thought they were, like, being mean to me. In reality, they were just messing around and having a good time.
Yeah.
I was taking everything personal. And so I said, you know why? You know what? I said, that's why blah, 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 like X, Y, and Z. And it's like, I actually said something mean. And you know what? And it's like, and so, you know, stuff like that happened. And then I got mad at Meta because he did something that I, at the time, thought was really stupid. He's like, you know, you can't really do that. And I'm like, you're right, I can't. And you know, and it was right. And he was like, you know, you can't be like, you know, other players. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, it really comes, I think learning from your mistakes is important. And, you know, the first part is, like, recognizing them to begin with. Yeah. Like, you know, everyone has their times when they lose their temper, when they get really pissed off. And everyone says shit that they regret. And I've certainly done my share of saying a lot of things that I regretted later. And you kind of have to be there and, like, be at the bottom to realize I don't want to feel this way anymore. And I don't want to say shit that haunts me later, like, way later in life. I don't want to say shit that, like, loses me friends and causes people to make jokes about me. And so from that point, it's a pretty damn long climb to get to the point where you don't regularly do that anymore, like, either. But it's a journey, like, you know? Again, it's a whole journey.
I'm trying to do my best to, like, do that. That's, like, one of the very few times, if at all any other time, that I've ever, like, really let my temper get out of control to the point where I was, like, saying things. And though I was misunderstanding situations, it's just not an excuse. I could have just, you know, turned to the other cheek and said whatever.
Yeah,
right.
You know, a lot of it comes from not caring what other people think to a degree. Yeah. Like, you can't let people get to you, you know?
Exactly. Like, who gives a shit what, like, certain people say at the end of the day?
Exactly.
Because a lot of times, and this is something that I told a friend of mine, because she messed up, or she didn't mess up an order, but someone else did. And this guy was yelling at her, and she got really angry at me when I asked her a question, and then she explained the situation. I said, listen, at the end of the day, like, everything that he did or he said, it's just a loud noise. And at the end of the day, everything that he said will never mean anything, and ever at all. It's just a loud noise. You know, you can't get so worked up over stuff like that, because
exactly.
You know, otherwise, everything will become a problem when someone has an opinion about you.
Right. Yeah, you can't let people's opinion about you, like, really tilt you or knock you off your rocker.
Yeah.
Like, if you spend that's just basically it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's a big
Yeah.
big
Yeah,
topic.
be more chill about what other people think and be happy with how you act, like, for yourself.
Yeah.
Like, if you're happy at the end of the day with how you act and how you behave and how you treat others, that's really the most important part.
Sure. Um, and all that other stuff. I don't know Jeff from saying yup and then Jeff from saying wait no to, but he said that Jazzy says I do like seeing him get angry in game, and then John said Alan Explosion broke up. No, Alan Explosion did not break up, but there was that one thing that I did mention earlier, and then he's getting busy in life, so he's not going to be coming back to every single episode. It'll be more of a solo show, and then whenever he shows up, he'll be here when he is, and that's all fine. That's like he can't be a part of every single episode because I just say it's sporadic in the moment. This week we're doing this, and then he's like, okay. Almost every single time, I don't think there was a single time where I didn't tell him at least 2 days or a day beforehand. And which a day beforehand is ridiculous, but like sometimes I've even given him weeks ahead of time, in which that seemed like the wrong option.
I mean, like,
but
see,
but
that's the thing is, like, if something is important to people, they tend to make time for it. If it's not that important to them, then they won't.
Exactly.
And you can't really control how other people prioritize their time. What you can do is, like, the most that you can do is make people want to spend that time on a thing. I like back in a long time ago in a completely different game. We had one time when we were under attack by 100-something players, and 20 people showed up for defense, and that was not good because, like, we had like 500-something people in our group, and every one of those people except for 20 people decided that they'd rather do something else. And I blamed them. I was so fucking pissed at them. I screamed my head off, and I went on like fucking angry rant at like everyone who like wasn't there in chat with me and like in space with me trying to hold our turf. We eventually got wiped out and got kicked out of our land and annihilated, which is what happens when your
Please
players don't
state the
show
name
up.
of the game for the record.
EVE Online. The game was EVE Online. But at the end of the day, like, I blamed them for not showing up. But ultimately, it was kind of like, if they felt that it wasn't worth their time, then that's their decision to make. And I can have opinions about what they should be doing, but if I'm not like paying them to do something, then they have to want to do it. Otherwise, they're just not going to be there. And so it became like
there's some times where like there was like or last week there was like an episode it was like my birthday, and I was like, I'm not doing anything for the podcast. Like it's not all that important to me. Like it's fun.
Exactly.
It's fun to do when I do it, but like at the time like there's a lot of work to be put in it. First of all, I've got to pick a person and I have to make sure that that it's the right person at the right time. Right. I have to make sure that they're not like actively like not hated, but like they're actively like going out and making a bad name for themselves at the time. Like I have to write questions down. I have to schedule the podcast, make sure it fits around my schedule.
Of course,
which
yeah, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it's like if I don't got time for that, then
exactly, it's a lot of work. So like, is it fun? Is it rewarding? Do you get something out of it? Like, ultimately, at the end of the day, is it worth your time? And sometimes the answer is yes, sometimes the answer is no.
I agree with you. Bungie said you must choose between life and Eve. There is no compromise. I almost dropped out of college from Eve. And then John said I should pay my listeners for tuning in. Listen here. You should pay me since I'm the one not actively showing up all the time, okay? Boost my Discord so we can get better audio quality. Please and thank you. But it's not expected of you, but please and thank you. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that will get me at least 2 boosts, right? That can be right? It's great advertising.
Who knows? Hey, boost his server.
Oh, you heard it here first. League Governor Meta said to boost my server, so therefore you should listen to everything he says. Cause he's on the podcast and you're watching him for him. So you should do that. Anyway, let's look at this. We had a couple questions. Do you think the region split will bring in newer teams from smaller areas?
I really hope that it does. Because like I didn't think the region split vote would have gone through the way that it did. But apparently scheduling between North America and Europe was such a hated pain in the ass for like so many people that like the captains as a whole just decided they don't want to deal with it anymore.
Yeah.
So now we have,
That's the thing.
you know, 3 separate leagues, and hopefully this will mean like good teams and good competition in all 3 regions. I really hope that that's the case. So like if any of you guys out in Asia Pacific know people who play Pavlov or are interested in playing Pavlov, get them to join VRML. Get them to make a team and join the
Swagger
community.
Souls to come play VRML. Please and thank you.
Swagger Souls. Oh man.
I want to play with him so bad. I just want to teach him how to play better Pavlov.
There's kind of a problem with getting big CS streamers to come into Pav, which is that like they come in,
remember. Ugh.
right? When they come in, they're like legendary good at Counter-Strike, but they don't know VR mechanics. So they're playing a game that looks like Counter-Strike with controls that they don't know how to use, and nobody's good when they start out. So they get dunked, and then
they shit on the game, and it's like
they get dunked and they shit on the game. And like other players in the community find out that they're streaming and like freaking stream snipe them and join their games and dunk on them over and over and over again brutally, like where they don't even know what they're doing.
A harsher word for the situations, but yeah, the point gets across. They fucking the better players who know that they're better come in here and they're just like, oh, I see a big streamer streaming. Let me get on their stream and literally dunk on their asses, like you said, and.
That has happened a lot. That has happened a lot.
No, that happened almost every single time that a bigger streamer got in. Swagger Souls is like the only person that it plays like S&D Pavlov from time to time and streams it, and that isn't that bad of a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So that and I don't know if you're around for this, because I don't know if Dream Team and Arctic were like a couple yet, but like like the fucking the War Owl.
Oh yeah, he commentated me dropping my gun and then getting blasted and falling on my ass.
So literally every time he streams, I go and type in chat, like, when are you gonna play Pavlov, and he always responds, oh, I love that game. I want to play it again. I've got my room set up, or like I'm trying to get my room set up, and then he never played Pavlov. It's just like it makes.
Yeah, I remember when he was playing. He had a lot of trouble with guns and aiming, and everyone has trouble with that. Like aiming in VR is so different than mouse and keyboard, and I think so much better in like every single way possible.
What do you mean, like
than
mouse and keyboard versus VR controllers?
Yeah,
Which one's better?
I can never go back to playing a mouse and keyboard FPS after VR. I don't think anyone can. But also, like, the fun of playing a shooter in VR is hard to get across when you're just watching, like, a headset video of someone playing.
Yeah. So, a lot of people, say, oh, I can never go back to PC VR shooters, not because they can't or like they're bad at it. It's because it's nowhere near as much fun as literally doing this. Like right now,
I know, right?
Like this is like a normal thing for us. Like to other people, they're just like, what the hell are they doing? Like why is there a raccoon and Spider-Man from 2099 like sitting here and talking to each other about some completely different video game that's also in VR? It's like,
right?
They'll just never. You're just holding up your hands like this.
Yeah. It's just you get used to it, and once you're used to it, it's just not the same with a mouse and keyboard.
Listen. I'll drop the. By the way, just a little quick update. I'll drop the Chill Step episode at 50 subscribers. So
cool.
Not really, but I'll do it when I get around to it. I feel so bad for that, but Meta, Do you
Yeah.
ever feel like a plastic bag blowing through the wind?
A plastic bag blowing what? You
Through
cut
the
out a
wind?
little bit there.
Blowing
Do I
through the
ever
wind?
feel like a plastic bag blowing through the wind?
Yes.
Um,
You just gotta ignite the light and let it shine.
No, I don't think so.
You know what I mean? You just gotta ignite the light. You don't know that song?
Oh yeah.
Katy Perry?
Yep. Firework.
I was waiting for you to like say anything like at all. I'm like, oh, Katy Perry? Like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you've already answered. Do you think you'll be missing playing Pavlov at the level that you did? Because it'll almost never be the same like that. You could get scrims in, and that'll be it. But like, it'll never be the same where there's someone you could stream and there's people watching you, and there's not really like I guess there's like bragging rights, but like stakes or whatever. Like it feels like,
yeah. Just salt that wound. Why don't you? just rub that right in.
Here, let me make the
Hey,
let me make the wound in the first place, and then I'll get the salt. Okay?
Yeah, do it.
Ow! I hit my hand. Ow! No.
I will never get tired of the clunk of somebody punching a wall or a table through their mic.
Bro, I've heard stories of literally
forever
people
be
playing
funny.
in the bedrooms and falling through the windows. Like, shit is
Oh,
actually
shit.
like dangerous. So I really want to talk about your magic. I want to.
Sure.
You know what? Like Pavlov. You know that guy Tech the General
Yeah.
who made Welcome to Pavlov?
Uh-huh.
That song slaps, but anyway,
It slaps.
it does slap,
Great
bro.
musician, that dude.
Welcome to Pavlov. Please don't
Good
make me
friend,
snap.
too,
I'm
like,
out of my mind.
Right? I haven't actually heard from Tech in a long time.
You know what's weird is that for no reason I grew apart from Tech. I just haven't talked to him in such a long. He actually
Yeah.
he wants to be on the podcast.
Some shit
I wanna
shit
get him
happened
on
between Tech and Arctic Fam that I didn't really know and I wasn't really following, and then like I never really heard from him much since then.
I don't know. He recently did ask if or like wanted to be on the podcast because I asked him and then he didn't respond for a while and then eventually he said yeah I'd love to be on the podcast and I was like oh, great.
Oh,
So-
that's awesome.
So there will be a Tech the General one. We will be playing Welcome to Pavlov with his permission, of course, 24/7 during that episode. So, no, but so you played with War Owl. What was that like actually? First, I really want to know about that. I'm so
Well,
sorry.
honestly, I gotta say, I'm not super in touch with the competitive CSGO scene. I don't know the names of big streamers, and I don't really follow, like, the whole game streaming thing. I play PAV because it's fun, and I loved Counter-Strike when I was little, and now it's Counter-Strike in
So-
VR and growing to be more than that.
So
but, like,
it was like, or go on. Sorry.
for me, it was exciting that like he was someone famous who like everyone knew, and I wanted to put my best foot forward because I was hoping that by having him play, it would really grow our community and it would grow the awareness of Pavlov in like the esports scene. At the end of the day, I think everyone wants people to watch more Pavlov streams, have more Pavlov content. We have so many content creators making stuff with Pav now,
Yeah, that's all.
and it's fantastic.
A lot for a lot of us, especially me. That's all we want. We just want we want so much more people to watch this
Right,
game because
right.
it's
So to
literally Counter-Strike in VR.
It
It's
is.
like-
Yeah, so to answer your question, I wasn't starstruck, but I wanted to make a good impression, and I wanted to like make it good for our community as a whole. So that was really how I felt, and that was my approach coming into it.
I think the bigger thing is that like in reality we just need more of those people from Counter-Strike to come over here, and there are a lot of big like Counter-Strike people that I know can afford the headset, but maybe they're just not as interested into it.
I think-
and it's kind of like a deal right now where it's like, well, we don't have the platform to show them. How do we get this to them? How do we make them more interested?
Exactly. And I think there's at some point, when you've put 10,000 hours into a game and you know it and you could play it with your eyes closed, that it can be hard to like move to something else where you're not as good. And that's always been a problem for me. You know, when I'm super good at a game, I'm very comfortable with it and I'm very familiar with it. And I think that for the CS streamers out there, that's the same kind of problem. But really, the way to get more of the CS people paying attention to our scene and our content and our game, I think the way to do that is to just have more content, to have a bigger competitive scene, to have more teams competing, to have more viewership, to have more people putting like compilation videos and Pavlov videos out there on YouTube, to have more content on Twitch.
Yeah.
I think as our scene gets bigger, it's going to naturally attract the attention of Counter-Strike streamers and maybe Valorant streamers and so on.
That's another thing with like the people just making more and more content to do that stuff. Like my main thing is that like people saw like Valorant and went fucking ballistic. You know what I mean? Like that game to get beta keys was like a godsend. People wanted that so bad. I know all of my my friends that played Counter-Strike, and Pavlov was out before Valorant, but
I played it a little bit. It's fun. It's like, Counter-Strike, but Counter-Strike but better.
Overwatch. Okay, I wouldn't say that last part.
Dude, how crazy would it be if we had like a Pavlov that was like Valorant, Counter-Strike but Overwatch? Could you imagine like freaking Pavlov shooting mechanics and movement mechanics, but you also have like freaking blink abilities and like smoke bombs and all that shit.
Teleport abilities.
Yeah, shadow abilities,
that
teleport.
Shit would be crazy.
Like, right? You know, like if you play CS and you play Valorant. Let's copyright
it together and get some devs. Chill Step, you want to hop on this? I'll give you like 15% of my cut already.
Mr. Chill Step, former game dev of like Guild Wars 2, right?
I don't know. I didn't ask him. Shit.
I think now he's at Microsoft working on Minecraft. But I think he was a dev for Guild Wars 2 before Pavlov.
Chill Step, you've been holding back that you're literally Minecraft God? You're Jesus? Minecraft?
Now, I could be wrong about this. Like, I might be misremembering, but I thought that was...
Dude, I'd be so upset if he didn't tell me that, bro.
He does have a lot of game dev experience, and he talks about it, you know, in the Balance chat channel and in other places.
But yeah, sheesh, dude. Content creation, bro. It's kind of an iffy place because you got people like me, you got people like Yellow Hat who are like doing all this stuff. We're trying to do everything that every other community does. It's just like
those Yellow Hat videos on like gun mechanics have been fantastic. Thank you, Yellow Hat, for doing that. By the way, super solid.
It's literally everything that every other community does, but it's just like it's for Pavlov, and it's like we just
we need it. We need it,
we're not
and we have people. Right, we need it, and we have people excited to create it. Exactly. And I think that what would be really good to have is more support for content creators. I think that's fantastic, and thank you everyone who has ever posted a video or made any kind of content about Pav. Like, we need you. Keep at it.
I need you, so I can make
we all
money
need you
off of being the best player. Okay. Anyway, I think everybody's kind of sick and tired of the Pavlov talk. So let's really, really, really get into the Magic talk here. Okay.
Sure.
How'd you get into Magic? Like what was the whole start? Like where did the curiosity come in? Like when did you get interested?
Well, honestly, the way I got into sleight of hand. So if you don't know, one of the things that I do when I'm not playing Pav is I'm a professional magician. I get paid absurd amounts of money to go to like parties full of people and like do stuff. And I also perform on stage once in a while, or I used to until last year for obvious reasons. It's picking up again, by the way, so that's nice. But anyway, the reason I got into Magic was, I've always been a huge nerd. Academics and video games. My life was like Counter-Strike and SATs. So I've always been like a massive nerd who like gets really deep into mechanics and wants to know how things work. And I saw a card trick on YouTube and I didn't know how it worked and it pissed me the fuck off. So I spent 2 weeks like obsessively, analyzing this video until I reverse engineered how it must have worked. And then I tried to do it myself, and I practiced it until I could do it exactly the way that he did.
And that clearly
Yeah.
comes from the whole scientific part of you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I showed a friend of mine, and she went, "Oh, it's insane!" And like 17 or 18 years old, computer nerd my entire life, and that was the first time a girl reacted like that to anything I'd ever done.
And I'm sitting here trying to impress girls playing Pavlov. No, not really.
So I kept with it, and I started out just obsessively studying mechanics until I realized that, hey, actually, charisma and being entertaining is important. You want to be a performer. But by the time I realized that, I had like mastered the mechanics to the point where I could do it and with my eyes closed in my sleep. So from there, it kind of took off. 6 years ago, I started because I was in grad school, and long nights in front of a microscope with like single-celled brain parasites was not very fun and not very entertaining, and I kind of missed being around people. I would go to the lab, do my research, go home, play video games, go to sleep. And it was kind of depressing. So I was like, I know a few card tricks. So I grabbed a deck of cards and grabbed a table, and I like went out to the street, like, shop district full of like restaurants and stores and shit. And I like set up a table and I stood behind it with a deck of cards, and I just asked random passersby if they wanted to see a magic trick. And I sucked at it for a really long time. And then eventually I went to the right park, the right concert, and like happened to find a person who's like, hey, I'm opening a restaurant. I will pay you money to stand in front of my restaurant and do magic for people. And
Really?
that was 6 years ago, and he's still a super close and good friend now, and it's kind of taken off from there. So yeah.
So like really, how did that like kind of like relationship develop though? Like over time, like how did you like
I made friends, my friends knew friends, and I encountered people who introduced me to people who introduced me to people. Everyone who hires me for a gig is someone who like knows someone who I did a show for or I performed at a thing for. It's just all word of mouth, and it keeps me pretty busy.
It's kind of an echo. Like a lot of times, like at my work, we'll do these like little private parties for little kids and for like paintball and whatnot. And then one kid will be like, Dad, I really like this. Can we do this again? And then we get another private party, and then they invite someone that wasn't there at the last.
Exactly. Yeah, that's all it is.
It's just an echo effect, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's super cool. Like, I wish we could show it on stream, and we really could, but I don't know if you're set up for that, so I'm not.
Well, I have a deck of cards. I have a webcam on my computer. We can't be in VR chat to do it, but I could stream it on Discord if you could put that on your screen on YouTube.
Okay. If we have at least 3 people that say they want to see.
Let's see if
Magic,
chat wants to see it.
We'll switch over to that after we talk about his work, because he's also a wizard scientist. So why haven't you made Frankenstein then? You're magic. You're magical, and you're okay. Well, but you're magical. Yeah, just make money.
Nobody wants to pay money for a giant reanimated monster.
You can pull quarters out of people's ears, like.
I know, right?
Just make them as like a dispense machine. Like, come on.
No, see, the secret is if you want to pull a quarter out of somebody's ear, you have to have a quarter first. It doesn't actually work that way.
Well, that's just like not supporting people that are poor.
Right? I know.
Like you have to be rich to perform the trick. You have to have at least a nickel. Like what? Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
unfortunate.
So you're like a scientist. Like, what do you do? Like, what field do you study? Are you basically Neil deGrasse Tyson or like,
no? Neil deGrasse Tyson's an astronomer. Also, kind of a blowhard nowadays. I used to really like him, but like
he's got a great voice.
He does, but on Twitter, he's kind of become like the king of actually, and
I think he was always the king about it. I think he was always the king about that, but at that point in time, people were asking him about it, and now nobody's asking.
Yeah. Tragic.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but no, yeah, he's an astronomer. I'm a biologist. I tinker with DNA.
You're like Meaty One.
Yeah, I'm like Meaty One.
You ever gonna do a collab with him? Collab project? You know, collab like
Probably not.
You gonna ever look at the same cell? Like,
No, I don't think so. I
wow.
don't know where he works, but like, I mean, if his lab needs something done and they pay us, I would totally do it.
Bro, listen here. Listen here. You need to have a listen, you should sell for Pavlov merch, right? You should literally look at the same cell as Media One, and then you could do a Media One meta collab and sell those cells that you say that you looked at. You don't even have to actually look at them. You just said that you did because you're a biologist. So you have access to that technology. That's a big bank right there. I want at least 2% of that idea.
Okay.
I'm sorry for going off on the tangent. It's just like brain is just kind of like it's like
Hey,
it's like the Glock
free flowing conversations are good, right?
We have 2 people saying that we would like to see Meta doing magic, but we need at least 3. Okay, Meta does not perform magic for only 2 people. It's at least 3. Okay, even though that's not true at all, we'll probably still end up doing it. I just want to see that 3 people want to see it. Anyway,
Yeah, can we get a third?
can we get a third person? The man's asking for it. Come on. Can we also get him like a drink, like with a lemon in it? Like, what are we doing? I asked for this an hour ago from him. This should have already been set up. God, people are just so lazy. You don't know who I'm talking about, do you? Hello? Did
I'm
everything
here.
break? No, you don't like the joke? Come on, man. You didn't.
I'm here.
You haven't seen my little workers?
No, I was actually looking for the like summon a drink / like summon a item button.
Buy Meta a
You
coffee. You have one of those websites, don't you? Like buy me a coffee. You know that website. Or like you pay for. I don't know if you actually. I think you just give them like a donation for the price of a cup of coffee. It's like something like that. But like you make them think that you're buying a coffee. Anyway, not really seeing a whole lot of Meta one. I want to see.
That's
Meta
okay.
do magic. Come on, that's so.
You
messed
wanna?
up. I want to see you do magic. I'm the third person. I'll
Hey,
type it in.
third person right here.
Okay, let me type that in real quick. I'll get it typed in. You know what? I want to see Meta do magic. I want to see Meta do magic. Bam, there you go. I'm the third person. I want to see Meta do magic.
Cool.
And you can see right there, there's 3 people that typed in chat.
Hey,
Anyway.
there we go.
Anyway, this will be great. I love magic.
All right, let me quit out of VR chat and start a stream on
Wave goodbye.
the.
Wave.
Bye viewers for now. Be back in a
now.
sec.
You'll see real Meta. You know, like this isn't what he actually looks like. If any of you were wondering.
Yeah, you can stream to YouTube from Discord,
he
right?
is actually
Explosion?
he's still a midget. It's no. I'm sorry, that's not true at all. I don't know Meta's height.
Oh, hey, we got 4 now.
Do we have 4?
Now we really have to do
Oh,
it.
now we really have to do it. Oh, sorry.
You can stream
Yeah, I
to
can stream
YouTube
directly
from
to
Discord,
this.
right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
I can do that.
I'm gonna close out of VR and get that stream open.
Okay, let me close out of VR myself then. Get that all set up. Okay, we will be back with you momentarily. You guys keep asking questions. Meta, you're gonna do a Q&A while doing magic. Have you ever done that before? Oh, he's gone. He's getting the cards, ladies and gentlemen. Ask him more questions, okay?
keep people waiting too long.
Back to you guys in a secret location. Okay.
Hey, there I am.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Meta,
Yeah,
are you ready to impress some people?
I'll try. See what I can do. So,
Okay, that's an acceptable answer.
But since people asked, this actually literally was the trick that got me started in Magic.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy dealt out 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, and told me to follow the bottom card, the 2 of Hearts. So it's on the bottom, which means if you reverse it, that takes it from the bottom to the top. Now he took it and he put it on the bottom, snapped his fingers, and it jumped to the top. Put it on the bottom, gave it a snap, and it jumped to the top. He put it in the middle, gave it a snap, and it jumped to the top. He put it on the table, it was still on top. Put it on the bottom, it was still on top. He put it in the middle, and it was still on top.
So this
on
is
the table, still on top.
So here's the thing. This is, I don't know how to do it to the level that you did, but when you put it on the bottom, this is the only magic trick that I know how to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of cool seeing you actually do it good.
Yeah, it's a lame trick because all 4 cards, they're actually they're all the same card. That's the secret. You see, the top card is the 10 of spades. The second card is the 10 of spades. The third card is the 10 of spades, and the fourth card is the 10 of spades. So you see, it's just 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, all the same, all the 10 of spades, except for 1 king, 2 kings, 3 kings, 4 kings, and that was the trick. So, yeah.
Oh my fucking god! Okay, can I explain the one where you put it on the bottom and you just Could I try to explain that? You tell me if I explained it right. You
sure.
back check
Sure.
me.
I'll tell you you got it.
So basically what you do is when you're putting it on the bottom and then you flip it on the top, you actually have your thumb on the bottom of the deck so that when you pull it out, it looks like you pulled out the top card, but you pulled out both of them.
That is a legit slight, but no, that is not what I did there, actually.
Oh my god, okay.
Honestly.
What did you do then? Because that shit was fucking...
I cannot tell you, but if you had guessed it right, I would have said so.
He already impressed me before the magic.
Alright, check this out.
Okay.
Check this out, dude.
I'll check it out. I'm watching.
We're gonna hang on. First, we're gonna get this camera set up straight. Okay. Then let's pull out 4. Let's pull out 8 cards. 1, 2.
People are asking you to stop it. That was amazing. That was awesome. My mind is blown. Marry me.
Cool. Okay, check this out. 8 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Red, black, red, black, red, black, red, black. Now, Explosion, are you satisfied that these cards are well mixed? Red, black, red, black, red, black, like that?
I am indeed.
Okay, cool.
My OCD is content.
We're going to take these cards now, set them down. Name a color for this hand, red or black.
Okay, so I'm trying to remember which one was the bottom card so I can name the opposite and make it way more difficult for you. Okay, so what hand is the one with your ring on it? Is that your left?
That's my left.
Okay, so the left one is red.
Red.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4 red cards. Good call. And over here are the black cards. Did you see them switch?
I did see one switch.
4 red, 4 black. Let's try this. We're going to add one more. One more red, one more black. Let's give them a good shuffle. Okay. 1 through 10. Name a number.
24, so 12, which is 6.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Name another number.
4.
4. Another one.
9.
9. One more.
Oh God. Okay. Does anybody have a number in their name? Did I already say 4?
Right here.
I did say 4. Okay. 0. So the closest to 0 is 1.
1. And one more.
10.
10. Okay. So you picked 2, 4, 6, 9, 10. So watch very carefully. Be sure I'm not switching anything around. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have these 5. And we have these 5. That's how you split them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a red card on the front here. How crazy would it be if all 5 of these cards were red?
Well, the half of them are 5, so it's a 50% chance. Not impossible, but
See, I've just done this so much that it just doesn't surprise me anymore.
yeah.
And if we take the black cards over here, watch this. If we take the black cards, we put them on top of the red cards, and then we do that. Look at what happens. They spread out again. Red, black, red, black. Red, black, red, black.
No. It
Yeah.
doesn't. Okay, it didn't surprise me that they were all the same color. What surprised me is how the hell you got them to. No. One more
Yeah,
check.
this is the stuff that I can do on camera because it's all sleight of hand and not like face-to-face interaction and mentalism and like controlling people's attention and doing sneaky shit with it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still pretty good, I think. All right, one last one.
Okay, that's okay. Best for last.
Name any card that you can see out here.
Oh, I do see that Ace of Clovers.
Of the what?
Ace of Clovers.
Ace of clovers. Ace of clubs. Okay. Name a word.
Oh God, no! I could feel my mind being blown. Oh well, mind blown explosion. There you go.
Explosion. Good choice.
I promise I don't look at myself in the mirror and try to kill myself. Okay. Definitely
Explosion.
don't. Oh God. What is he gonna do?
Well,
It says right there in black marker.
is it backwards?
No, it's right.
Okay. It's backwards on my screen, but I guess it's just mirrored here. Help me lose this card in the deck, okay? Say stop anywhere you like.
Oh God. Stop.
Right here. Near the bottom. Usually I ask other people to push this card in for me, but it's a little hard to do. Not on the bottom. And not on top. But watch this. Did you see it when it came to the top? I'll do it again.
Yeah, I did.
Look,
I saw something, but I didn't see
Can I
you
go
do
in there?
everything else. I just saw a card.
And it just kind of, whoops, not yet. It goes.
You messed up, and
If I
then you were
take it-
just like, "It's okay, I got this." I
If
I
put
picked
it
the
here-
wrong one. I'm sorry. I just forgot.
I put it here. It's not on top yet, but it goes in, and you can see exactly the moment that it just kind of comes to the top. Put it in the deck. Give it a snap, and it jumps to the top. Put it in the deck. Give it a snap, and it jumps to the top. Check this out. If I bend it down the middle, you can see it right here, bent,
Yeah.
and it goes in. in here and vent. And when it goes into the deck, you can see exactly the moment
No.
that it
No.
jumps to the top.
You do that.
So yeah, that's kind of a bit of what I do.
Okay, now mix a bunch of different chemicals and make something, because we're scientists too. See those arrows? I want you to melt them down, and I want you to literally fuse oxygen molecules with them. Okay, I don't know if that's what biology is, but no, that's chemistry. What am I fucking stupid?
I think I need a particle accelerator for that.
Listen here, okay, Mr. fucking, what was his name? I can't remember from The Flash. Okay.
Barry something?
No, not Barry Allen, the smart one. Harrison Wells.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Harrison Wells, okay. Quit being amazing and start being amazing. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'll try.
See, this is why I tell an amazing person when they're being amazing, but they said, well, I can't quite do that. I'm like, quit being amazing. Be amazing. You know what I mean?
I know. I get you.
Holy hell. I can't believe you.
Cool.
I can't believe you done this. Dude, I still have tears in my eyes from laughter. I'm just like, literally, that's just how magic works for me. It literally makes me crack up because it's like my mind just doesn't want to like admit that it's blown. It's just like funny moment.
It just kind of breaks your brain a little bit, and I find that really fun. You know, it's a way of playing with how people perceive things and how people understand things, and you'd be amazed how easy it is to trick your perceptions. Like all the assumptions that you aren't even aware that you're making every moment of your day. There's a lot of blind spots there. And it really helps with ninjaing bombs too, understanding people's blind spots and understanding where people are focused and where they aren't. It's, I think, kind of my experience in Magic was what led me to be as successful at it as I was when I first started doing ninjas, until everyone caught on to the possibility and started watching the bomb like a bunch of paranoid people who have been hurt badly.
we got a few people giving a few claps all around. Okay. I myself would like to give you the round of applause. Okay, so
well, thank you very much, Explosion.
Real quick. Okay. Meta, I think you've served your time here. You've served it well, and you've all entertained us, and you've been a wonderful, wonderful person.
Thank you.
And I thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Explosion, and thank you all for listening and tuning in. And I hope that we all have a fantastic season. You know, starts on the 26th. We're going to get weekly matches coming up again. Season 8's underway, and I hope everyone's excited for it.
Well, everyone, I think that's a great place to end. So I've been your host, Explosion. This has been my special guest, Meta, and we hope that you had a great time watching.